second live today, and I really enjoyed the morning one, where I spoke about why we stay for too long in jobs, in relationships, and how it is slightly related to serotonin. Now, always whenever we speak, because today I'm also going to speak a little bit about serotonin tone, so an important thing to remember is that serotonin alone and no other molecule alone does anything substantial for us. So it doesn't change magically our life. But usually, when we understand how it works, it explains a few things that we can start working on. While we also start working on other things. And, something like a good lifestyle is a very universal piece of advice. So oftentimes when we understand even one element about ourselves and we start improving it, it usually influences also nicely the rest of the realms in our life. Okay. I'm going to leave here a question. This is not what I want. I want maybe this. Do you make good decisions? I think that it's a little bit crooked, but not sure how to move it. Let's leave it like that. Yeah, so I wanted to speak today about serotonin and decision making. Because it's one of the things that it entails. Like our serotonin tone will inevitably influence how we make decisions in our life. So again, serotonin isn't just about our mood. It's not some kind of happiness juice for us. Optimizing our serotonin serves multiple functions. And one of them is, but it's actually not directly, it's just a bunch of functions that serotonin directly executes that finally also influences how we make decisions. So just like I said in the beginning, it's not one, there is no one thing that we can fix to fix our lives. We can just understand one thing and start working on it, and then everything else will also get better, usually. So that's kind of the mechanism. But you can be absolutely, regulated in terms of serotonin. You can have optimized and regulated serotonin tone, and yet your nervous system may be dysregulated. And in reverse, you can be regulated on the level of your nervous system, but because of your lifestyle choices, your serotonin might be low. So today we're going to speak about decision making, so how serotonin influences decision making, and two kinds of serotonin. I mean, this is just like one of many divisions that we can speak about, which is baseline serotonin and contextual serotonin. Just to distinguish like two main sources, let's say, that influence our serotonin level. Sadly, it's not always that we optimize our serotonin levels. Sometimes we affect it negatively. So the thing about how is it possible that serotonin actually influences our decision making? Well, first of all, if we run low on serotonin, it can make us snap. So actually, whenever you see a person snap, it's most likely related somehow also to the serotonin. I mean, especially if it happens on a regular basis, because again, like it could be just because you're like dysregulated. We are all dysregulated. It could happen, but if it's if it's on a regular basis, that's actually something worrying. So that taught me also how to see other people, because I was already quite introspective in terms of how I saw my own behavior and how I was trying to change it. But I saw how people function in this in my world, and I suddenly became slightly more compassionate towards them. So when people snap, just first thing that you can think of is that maybe they are actually dealing with a lot of like internal battles around their wellness, around their mental health. So yeah, being compassionate, not for them, but for yourself actually, because that's participating in the social life basically. And so that's how optimized serotonin tone translates into patience. So it's not like people in general, like we must be like machines, or like always happy, or always glad, or always calm, always zen. That's not about it. It's just that it's enough if we are patient. Literally the only thing that we must learn in life is to be patient and observe. Because if we act too soon, we have far too little data to act in any way, to snap or to be forgiving towards someone. So first of all, be patient and observe. And that's what serotonin lets you do. So that's why I optimize serotonin tone. It's very good for interactions, because first of all, it doesn't even make your decisions better in terms of like quality of those decisions. It's just that it gives you more data, because it gives you time, it gives you presence. You are actually present to observe, and that makes your decisions better. And then just avoiding bad choices itself is important. It's not always about making a good choice, it's also about avoiding bad choices. Like in life, if you get to avoid bad choices, you are already like half winning. I think that it was Jeff Bezos who said, who like devised that concept of two kinds of choices. So there are choices which are one-way door. Like if you take the door, you won't be able to get back. And there are very few choices of that kind that we make in our lives. And then most of the choices, the vast majority of the choices, are reversible. So we don't have to be we don't have to meditate them a lot. But serotonin automatically gives you that mental space to kind of understand how society works, how social settings work, and it gives you glimpses of punishment. It makes you sensitive to punishment. There are people who do bad things because they aren't aware, like they aren't afraid. They don't really internalize what could be punishment for what they do. And that's part of the problem, meaning just like snapping in some people, those people, they just not thinking. And it's like you can ask yourself about anyone, like, oh my goodness, so he committed a murder. I mean, wasn't he thinking? Like, you go to jail for that. Well, no, it's not like they weren't thinking. It's just like their entire bodies and structure and everything is really disordered. And one of the things that usually is a factor is serotonin levels and serotonin functioning and its executive function. So in a person who's got regulated serotonin tone, it will be natural actually not to make bad decisions, like to avoid bad decisions, because we are sensitive to punishment. We actually have those glimpses of consequences. We can imagine consequences, and it's actually really important. And then also we can actually stop what we're doing. So we're not that impulsive. That's something really appreciated, in ourselves as well, because we think that we really know what we're doing, and that, yeah, like if you ask anyone, they would tell you, yeah, I can stop myself from doing anything at any point. But then the same people will keep scrolling, right? Or just keep doing something falling into distractions, let's say. So most of us, we aren't 100% in control of our behavior, but if you've got optimized serotonin tone, then you're more likely to be able to actually stop yourself from doing whatever is not serving you. You have that behavioral inhibition in you, which is very good at the society level, but also it's just good for you, and good for your career and for your relationships, etc. So you can see in those social groups which are like collectively dysregulated, that they lack inhibition. And that's why you can I don't know, imagine that you get to a really weird bar somewhere. There are people who just go there to kind of drink because they're sad and depressed, and their serotonin tone obviously isn't regulated in such states, and they collectively lack inhibition. So you can hear really inappropriate jokes, and no one notices. In a way, no one stops another person, and it invites more and more behavior like that. Hola, hola, desde España, Hernán. And navigating social pecking order, so important. Basically, it just means that navigating social rank, social hierarchy. We are all a part of hierarchy, and one of the most important functions of serotonin is give you understanding of where you are, and be that's very important, because it's not about just accepting, okay, so I'm at the lowest possible level of hierarchy, that's it. No, serotonin also helps you to be strategic about it, which is really, really awesome. So serotonin is something that will help you accept small injustices in order to bring you higher in social rank. It doesn't obviously mean, it's not the same as observing real injustice and doing nothing about it. That's absolutely a different thing. Serotonin is not linked to right and wrong, but obviously there are sometimes, for example, in a workplace, let's say, there is drama happening, and serotonin keeps you out of drama happening. So many situations at work aren't worth your attention, your opinion, your intervention. Serotonin keeps you out of it. Even if you see that, oh, someone said something really upsetting to another person, it was objectively upsetting, serotonin helps you understand that there is the bigger picture, that you're not a part of the picture, that it's not your business. And in that way, you become that calmer person who only intervenes when it's necessary, when it's actually important, and people start counting on you in that way. So that's another thing, that it's far, far easier if you get your serotonin right. And now, in order to get our serotonin right, we need like two main sources of the serotonin. So first of all, it's our lifestyle. This is the foundation. Like, obviously, like if you don't sleep, if you go through a period of sleepless nights, you just know how you function. You don't function well. So there is nothing you can do. Like, if you don't sleep, you cannot regulate your nervous system, you cannot optimize your serotonin. It's just, nothing is possible. So obviously, lifestyle is the foundation. But once you get to that foundation, there is another thing that is more important, which is our social setting. So both are essential, but in different ways at different stages. So when you start regulating your serotonin, you can definitely start at the lifestyle level, so nutrition, sleep, circadian rhythm regulation, gut health. All of that will help you with improving your baseline serotonin foundation. On the other hand, once you get there, once you have like your nice healthy routines, your completion rituals for the task, for the day, for the chapters in life, for relationships that end, for jobs that you shift, etc., then you can focus on the other source of serotonin, which is about social aspects of your life. And there's nothing gives you that surge of serotonin like social recognition. And in order to rank, you need results, and only results actually help you in that way improve your serotonin. But first, actually improve your social standing, and then that is reflected in your serotonin too. And that's the best serotonin enhancer. Once you have the foundation. So at different moment you will need regulate your serotonin in different ways, but both are essential. And once you get that, I always like that example of like winning a lottery, for example, winning a lottery and investing the money and moving around with the money. That would be an immediate serotonin surge for you. You'll be energized by it. You'd feel more confident because once you enter stores where you couldn't afford certain things and now you can, now you suddenly don't lack the confidence for doing that. No, I am not a smoker. And so this is an enormous serotonin surge. But if you lack that foundation, if you don't have a nice lifestyle, if you don't have nice routines, if you smoke, all that will cause that soon you'll snap. It doesn't matter that you had like that serotonin boost, soon you'll snap, you'll make some bad decisions. You won't be able to inhibit yourself from certain compulsive behaviors, maybe, or you'll just navigate the social pecking order in a wrong way, whatever it could entail. So I hope that you found it helpful. Serotonin definitely can help us make better decisions. If you'd like to improve your decisions, you can start by improving your lifestyle and by navigating social circles slightly better. Thank you for tuning in, and see you very soon. Bye bye.